Welcome to 101 Archi Design. In our latest video, we take you on an exclusive tour to discover home garden landscaping ideas. We rounded up more than 100 stunning home garden that will ignite your design imagination. While you are enjoying our home garden collections, let us to share a few tips how to designing or makeover backyard or front yard to make it look more beautiful. Landscaping and garden design can improve your home's amenity, thermal performance, and value, and can reduce your environmental footprint. Sustainable landscaping aims to work with the natural landscape and cycles. If the site still has vegetation, keep as much growth as possible, especially trees which will take a long time to be replaced. Minimizing hard surfaces will reduce stormwater runoff from your site, and using mulch will reduce your garden's water requirements. Using native and indigenous plants in your garden will provide habitat for local species. Native and indigenous plants also usually have lower water requirements than exotics, thus reducing your water use. In bushfire-prone areas, you can reduce the fire risk for your home by choosing less flammable plants and landscaping elements, including gaps in plantings and avoiding plants near windows. Growing vegetables, herbs, and fruit can reduce your environmental impact by reducing your reliance on food bought elsewhere, with associated use of water, energy, and transport. Landscaping and garden design can simultaneously address aesthetics and amenity, water management, air quality, climate modification, biodiversity, habitat creation, and local food production, and can help to warm and cool your house. The planning and design of outdoor space should be considered an integral part of your home's sustainable design. Sustainable landscaping is an approach to designing and constructing the artificial landscapes that surround our buildings and improving the natural landscapes that already exist. Ideally, these landscapes should maintain themselves and survive by being part of the natural cycles of the local environment. The scope of design of outdoor space may range from revegetation of a large bush block to the detailed design of small courtyard spaces. Sustainable landscaping means putting back much of what may have been in place before development. It may also mean introducing things that were not there before, to ensure that the landscape can be socially, economically, and environmentally sustainable in future. Benefits of sustainable landscaping and garden design include increased biodiversity. Native and indigenous vegetation can support and increase local biodiversity by providing habitat, especially for birds, insects, and lizards. Improved air quality. Vegetation can remove pollutants from the air and create buffers and filters for wind and dust control. Reduced energy use. As an integral part of passive design strategies, vegetation can provide cooling through shading and evapotranspiration. Shading to the north of a home should be provided by deciduous plants which lose their leaves in winter. Australia has few deciduous native trees, for example Tuner Australian, red cedar, so exotics may be required. Water management. Good landscaping can reduce the impact of stormwater on the site and reduce the need for watering plants. It can even be part of a wastewater treatment system. Food production. Growing your own fruit and vegetables can help to reduce your ecological footprint. Psychological well-being. A new science of biophilia is developing from the recognition that vegetation and natural environments have a measurable impact on our psychological health. Sustainable landscaping is about more than planting Australian native vegetation. It is about designing landscapes to fit the new site ecology created when buildings are constructed. Sustainable landscaping includes such diverse approaches as restoring creeks where development has changed or removed their previous course, and creating roof gardens to replace the productive capacity of the land taken up by a new building. Design landscaping to be experienced from both inside and outside the home. Sustainable landscaping can be employed to create shade or to enhance or frame views. It can be attractive to look at and can also provide privacy from surrounding buildings. It can supply food and help create pleasant areas for recreation. The location of vegetation can influence choices about building orientation. A tree may shade part of a site and limit solar access, but be an essential part of retaining soil, providing habitat and creating shelter. When choosing a site, take account of existing vegetation for windbreaks, shading, and views, and remember that trees and vegetation can form part of the view, not just block other views. Sustainable landscaping may be used to control the amount of salt in the soil salinity, help increase the processing of carbon dioxide through photosynthesis and absorption of carbon, and contribute to restoring and maintaining biodiversity. In recent years, the definition of a sustainable landscape has evolved to include landscape elements that are literally part of a building. Green roofs and walls can be constructed specifically to support native vegetation as part of a wider strategy for enhancing or restoring the natural biodiversity and reducing urban heat. Landscape materials account for much of the embodied energy in a landscape project. Consider reusing existing site materials such as pavers and excavated rocks. Wherever possible, use recycled materials such as crushed brick or concrete, or recycled timber. If recycled timber is unavailable, use sustainably managed plantation timber or timber composite products in preference to imported rainforest timbers. Avoid excessive amounts of paving, which can contribute to microclimate heating and reduced site permeability. Pave only where you sit, stand, and walk. Gardens require water, but smart choices can reduce the amount of mains water you need to use. Low water use vegetation can greatly reduce the need for supplementary garden watering. Indigenous species are usually the best for the low rainfall conditions. You can use your roof to capture rainwater that can then be used to irrigate vegetation. Capturing water this way also reduces the release of stormwater to the street. You can also recycle wastewater from your home to water plants. The use of water bodies like ponds and water features can be integrated into a sustainable landscape solution as part of an overall water management system and the passive climate response strategy for your home. Sustainable landscapes use plants that perform well in the local area. Suitable plants may include native and indigenous plants, as well as exotics from similar climatic zones. Plants should ideally perform well once established on existing soils and with existing rainfall patterns without the need for excessive watering, soil modification, or intensive maintenance regimes. A sustainable garden uses a wide range of plants from different structural categories, such as trees, screening shrubs, medium shrubs, low shrubs, ground covers, strappy plants and grasses, climbers, perennials, and bulbs. This kind of structural diversity encourages wildlife into the landscape. Lawns are common features in Australian landscapes, but they generally require high levels of water, fertilizers, and energy to maintain their appearance. These impacts can be minimized by selecting a turf that requires less water and fertilizer, replacing exotic grass species with drought-tolerant, low-maintenance native grasses that retain the appearance of a conventional lawn, reducing the extent of lawn and increasing the area of hardy garden beds, removing lawn and replacing it with a mix of ground covers and non-woody plants and permeable surfaces such as gravel. And now let's enjoy the rest of our home garden collections and get some new ideas to be implemented to your home garden landscape.